So what's up guys, back here with another video. It's Mower Man Chase, and in today's video I actually broke down the scaling to $1 million into 4 different levels. So I'm going to teach you guys exactly what stage you're in and exactly what you need to do to get to the next level so you guys can work your way to $1 million in revenue. Because as you guys know, I do about $60,000 to $65,000 a month in my lawn care company called Grow Landscaping. And these videos are not for people who want to make peanuts. It's not for people who want to make 5, 10K a month, 20K a month. My videos are for people who want to make millions of dollars in the lawn care industry and have a very scalable model and get to 7-figure run rate within the next 2-3 years. So without further ado, I'm gonna switch this over to a loom and then we're gonna get dialed. Okay, so as you guys can see here, we have the roadmap. And this roadmap is gonna be what you're gonna use to track exactly where you are and exactly where you need to go and exactly what you should be worried about during this process. So as we're right here to the roadmap, basically how I have everything broken down, if I can zoom in, is I have it at 0K a month. Means, you know, you're poor, you probably just have a job right now, or you're doing something else and you're just not in the lawn care industry, or you're starting a new location, right? So I say the first, we break this down in like 4 different checkpoints. Well, technically if you're gonna count 0, 5, but you want 1 truck, 2 truck, 4 truck, 5 truck. In this, the reason I skip, like say for example, like 3 trucks and I'm not doing 6 trucks, it just depends on what you need during these sections, during all these levels, and this determines on what you actually are gonna have to do. The difference between 3 trucks and 4 trucks is completely different. So you're probably, when you see what we're gonna go into, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. So obviously on the roadmap, if you guys are not even at $15,000 a month, which I already have a feeling is going to be a lot of you guys, which you guys need to lock in 100%. But if you guys aren't there, you guys are on level 1. Level 1 is the journey to 15K a month. Level 2 is the journey to 30K a month. Level 3 is the journey to 60K a month. And level 4 is the journey to $83,000 a month. As you guys know and can tell, I'm on level 4. I'm doing $60,000 to $65,000 a month. So level 1, I call this the labor stage. The objective is to build a template route that you'll be able to replicate. You're going to be buying the initial setup, maximizing work efficiency. You're going to get a place to store your business and equipment. And then you're going to start up marketing profiles. So basically, as you guys can see this picture, this is like what a level 1, someone like a rookie in the level 1 would be looking like. So this is how I looked when I first started, right? And I didn't have the setup. And the entire point of level 1 is to build the workload for that initial setup and then also get storage and build the truck and get everything dialed in to the point where you have the setup. Like you have one route, it's you and another guy and you guys are working. That's why I call it the labor stage. Why? Because during this stage, you're going to be doing a lot. You're going to be doing the physical work. You're going to be doing the admin, doing the sales, doing the planning. You're going to be doing everything pretty much during this stage, and this is going to be where you're working the most, 100%. It's not the smartest, but you're just doing brute force work. You're just brute forcing your way through. So as you guys can see in level 1, things that it will look like is like buying that first 0-turn mower for your setup. This will look like, as you can see right here, I got the trucks, I got the car magnets, I just got my uniform, like I'm starting to look like an actual company. I get my shipping container and I can put everything in the shipping container so I can store my equipment and it's not at my house, right? And I believe, unless your goal is to have one of those, like, I don't agree with this, but if your goal is to have like a shop on your house, like I would get a shipping container or a storage unit. I think you should separate business from personal, because then when you're at your place of business, you'll be more locked in, 100%. And just a friendly reminder, if you guys are not in the Grow Growth Club and do want information like this and want to be able to talk to me and ask me questions about information like this, join the Grow Growth Club. It's in the link in the description for free. And if you want me and my team to set up these systems for you in your business, link in the description as well. So level 2, this is 15K to 30K. So if you guys are within that range, you guys are on level 2, right? Level 2 looks like this. I call this the sales, as you can see, the sales stage. So level 2 looks like, this is what it will look like. This is going to be your truck, and these are your 2 work trucks, right? The objective here is to maximize the potential of each customer and to build marketing funnels as well as hiring funnels. Why? Because if you're getting to level 2 with $30K a month in revenue, you're probably going to have about 4 employees, right? So you need to get good at interviews, like actually seeing who's a good guy. You can master this stage in level 2. You don't really need to master it later on, because you kind of do need it now. It's more important to hire good people in level 2 than it is during the other levels, because you'll have a lot more structure and it will be a lot easier just to throw anyone into the mix. Building an in-depth lead capture and follow-up structures so you close almost every single quote that you do quote. See, in this stage, you need to make sure you build the systems of being able to close all the work. In stage 1, you're building the setup and you're building the marketing profiles like Google, Facebook. And then in this one, obviously you're going to start running like marketing campaigns, but then you need to get good at actually capturing all these leads and maximizing everything. Managing, selling, but no working. And when I say no working, I mean no working. You need to, during this stage of level 2, it is in your best interest if you don't work. It's in the company's best interest if you don't work. They need you, the company, the guys, and you, to be outside selling 24/7. If you're in this stage and you're selling 24/7, you will level up through level 2 pretty fast. That's why I call it the sales stage. And then you need to create a vision for the company and explain this vision or said vision to your employees. So all the employees are going to start, like, someone's going to step up. And this is the person that you're going to need in level 3. So that I say you need to really sell vision during level 2 as well. What this is going to look like is you finally having a couple guys. This is when it feels like you actually are running a company. It's going to look like you, instead of you actually being out there in the field, like you're actually out here at like, Home Depot, running equipment runs, doing like blade checks, like actually running the business side. You're still running the operations. So it's not really like only running a business and building the plans, but it's like you're running the operation, like as if you're the manager. And then marketing. I have this picture here because an emphasis on marketing and an emphasis on sales in closing customers through a sales process. If you have this set up, you will come up. That's how this works. The key to breaking level 2 from 15K a month to 30K a month is just mastering that sales. Why? Because during this process, you're going to be hiring guys and you're going to have guys in or out, right? So during this process, I guarantee you're not going to have as much customer retention as if you were doing this job yourself. So you're really going to have to figure out, some actual good sales techniques so you can make sure you keep demand of your service ongoing. So level 3, which we're about to hop into, is 30K, as you can see, to 60K. And this is where I just was pretty much in the beginning of this year. The leverage stage. So this is how level 3 would look. You got a manager truck and you got 4 trucks in the route, right? This is the yard, this is my trucks. So the objective here is to create SOPs and rules of business so that your location can run with minimum effort. The whole point of stage 3 is leverage, right? It's not about sales, it's about leverage. It's about what can I do that makes the absolute most return in my business. That's why I say the skills, the things you're gonna have to do in this is getting very good at interviews, building an in-depth lead capture system. When I say getting good at interviews, I say very good. And I would switch this. So I'm gonna switch this for you guys right now because I don't even like how it's worded. I would switch this. Instead of getting good at interviews during stage 3, you need to get very good at screening employees. Like have a good screening process so then you can like actually funnel a crazy amount of employee leads if need be. Building an in-depth lead capture and follow-up. Okay. This got copy pasted. Okay, so I'll switch it right here on the spot because I already kind of know this by heart. But this is getting good at screening employees. You need to make sure that you are screening all these employees. I'll just delete this. But you got to make sure you are screening employees. As you can see right here, where I'm in a hoodie at my laptop, this is how this stage should look. You shouldn't be at U-Haul. You shouldn't be at Home Depot. You should be basically just doing admin and remote sales. In this stage, you're gonna hire a GM, right? So the GM is gonna be in this truck, not you. So now you have your first management, right? You need to get good during this stage at managing people, managing systems. That's why we're creating SOPs and rules of the business so other people can run your business. That's why it's called leverage. Other people can do your work. Because at the end of the day, going to Home Depot, fixing problems in the trucks, handling crew issues and building schedules isn't lead. It doesn't produce you cash, right? What does produce you cash is having your admin super dialed in, right? The organization of the business. What does have you super like making a bunch of cash is using people for leverage. And I don't mean in a negative sense, a negative connotation, but having other people go in positions to do other work. Like this is where you're getting your first GM. This is where he's now basically doing everything physical at the location that you would be doing. This is what this picture is. If you guys know what the handshake means, that's acquisitions. This is the first stage which I believe you should start looking at acquisitions. From 30 to 60K, you can buy out routes. And if you guys know, that's what I'm doing. So during these stages of the leverage stage, your goal is to build systems, make your business super organized, hire management, and acquire companies. So all these together make a very scalable model that doesn't involve your hard work, so to speak. That's why we call it the leverage stage. Mind you guys, I do teach a lot of this in the Grow Growth Club. If you guys aren't already in there, you should 100% be in there, because if you're not, you're losing out on a bunch of money, right? This is stuff you should already know if you are in the Grow Growth Club. But if you're not, right now, I have a link in the description. Also, if you want my team to build these systems for you, the link's in the description as well. So 60 to 83,000. This is the stage that I'm on now, the model stage. The objective is to have a I can't speak right now. The objective is to have a self-sustaining maintenance division so that you can walk away from everything that and it only requires a 1 hour weekly Zoom call to manage. Like in this stage, the whole point of the model stage is your model works so well that legit 1 Zoom call a week just to make sure everything's on track and to collect numbers is all it would require. The whole thing you're doing in the model stage is like very fine tweaking your business. So in the other one, we're like making it super scalable. In this one, we have everyone in place. This is where we have outsourced admin. This is where we have outsourced sales reps. This is where we have outsourced management, which we already have done in stage 3. Pretty much the only difference is outsourced admin and then sales reps, like I'm about to explain right here. So as you can see right here, we have a flow chart. This should show what this represents is that how structured your business should be, that you should be able to write out your entire business plan in a flow chart and everyone can understand. That's how transparent your business should be in a model 3, in a level 4 model stage. Right here is a sales team. So this is gonna be based off, depending on what you're gonna do next, you may use this or may not, but I'm gonna hop into that. And then as you can see right here, we have a model. Basically the whole point of this stage is to make your business perfect. So if you were to, for example, if you were to show investors this location, they would understand it to a T and they would be willing to invest. Like this is how you need this division at this stage. You need it super dialed, super organized. So you're gonna be building the entire structure flow chart. As I said, you're gonna be making the division perfect and fine-tuned to be more and more self-sustaining. You want less and less employees, making it more easier and easier to manage that business with, you can take an idiot to manage this company. If you can get it to that point where anyone off the street can manage your business, you have a very scalable model. Building a sales team if starting the landscape division or the landscape division or tree division next. So that depends if you're starting those divisions next. And then planning new locations or new divisions in the acquisitions of those divisions. Because if you're planning, say for example, fertilization, you would do it through acquisitions at this stage because you already kind of built the structure to do so. If you're planning landscape or trees, you're going to do it more through lead gen, right? And partners. If you're planning to start a new location, again, if your goal is to do through maintenance, you're going to be planning acquisitions. But all four of these levels are how you level up in this business and how you get to the 7-figure run rate. And at each of these stages, these are like some of the common beliefs that you're going to be having to think about to move up. Mind you guys, the back-end system, the AI automations, the follow-up sequences, the closing scripts, the actual AI receptionist, like just using all these tools, this makes these levels speed up so much faster. If you guys don't have any automations into your business, I'm telling you, you're missing out. So you can either learn about them for free in the Grow Growth Club again, or you can schedule an appointment with my team and we can set up all these automations in your business ourselves and we can basically do the work for you. So regardless of what you want to do, you have to get this done if your goal is to scale. So whether you want to do it yourself, whether you want to work with my team, we're the only people who do it pretty much in the industry. But regardless, you need to have this done because you need to scale this business. And if your goal is not to get to $1 million run rate, even like I think you should be doing well over $1 million run rate. If your goal is to stay in business for decades, you should really be pushing revenue. But if your goal is not even to get to $1 million, you should have been already clicked off this video. This is not the type of content for you. This is the type of content for people who are trying to make millions in this industry. But without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Peace.